How's it going?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. I survived Doncaster yesterday.
Oh,
Jaeger bombs for a quid was dangerous mid-afternoon.
We didn't play. We didn't play Doncaster yesterday.
No, we had a day out. We had a day out. We went up market. Went to Donny for the day.
Was that when you were coming back from the away game? Was it?
Yeah, sort of. But at least, I just about remembered to do my at the match, didn't I, at the pub?
You did very much. It was so good that I put it on at the very beginning.
Did you? Oh, right. Well, it was 83 minutes in. Surely it should have been at the end.
Well, no, we just wanted to highlight your organisational skills. I think is probably the best way.
Okay. Yeah, I was just like, shit. You said I was supposed to be doing something in the pub, even though I wasn't at the game. Or you did, one of you.
I'll say I can't remember saying anything about that. But
no, but you are the at the game master, though.
That's true.
Well, that's true. But the executive producer, I'd like to think that's the title I'm giving myself for that. But does that mean does that mean Mother's Day was ruined in the Fenwick household, or was you all right today, Bruce?
I was okay, mate. It was we got back at what time did we get back? I don't know. The train went really slow through Scunthorpe. I think just to make us appreciate what we've got. Did
you go past their little ground? Did you?
We were a bit late. Yeah, we were a bit late. We were a bit late getting in, so we got in about 10 o'clock. And Claire had messaged, "I'm going to bed in a bit, but if you want a lift home, I'll come and get you." You know when you've had
Doncaster.
What? No, from the station, you idiot.
Okay.
No, anyway, do you want a lift home? There's about 5 of us left. The others had all got off the train or were going straight home. I went, no, I'll go in the old Vic for a drink. We'd only been drinking since 9:30 in the morning. We'll go in the old Vic for a drink. And then anyway, I started this Smirnoff Ice that somebody bought me. I mean, I drank that many different drinks yesterday that, yeah. And I just, when you're like, I really need to be going home now. And I think the 10:30 departure, she still kindly came and picked me up, spared me today. So yeah, I've been all right. So I've fulfilled my duties. I took a bigger card than my sister got my mum round. Number one favourite firstborn.
Hey, well done, mate.
Yeah. I said, make sure I got one. I got a massive card from the card factory, and I said, whatever you do, please stand it in front of Amy's when she brings hers round later. Just put it in the shade. So
and
it's probably on the fire, to be fair.
And isn't this what everybody who enjoyed Friday evening wanted? You're still running on those endorphins. You're still loving it. You're still enjoying life.
I couldn't sleep last night, mate. I couldn't sleep. I woke up about 4 o'clock because I was
but that's the Jaeger bombs running through you.
I was full of Jaeger bomb and insects on the beach. But I'll tell you what, right? Just
a drink.
Just a bit of a. Why are you talking about Mother's Day and that sort of thing? I say it every year on Facebook, right? How can everybody's mum be the best mum in the world?
Would you want a playoff?
I think there should be penalty shootouts for mums.
Oh, that's a half-time thing, isn't it? That would be an amazing.
Who is the best mum in the world?
And there's only one. There's only one Grimsby Town best mum in the world mug, and they get to win it at a penalty shootout.
That should have been done at grounds across the country all weekend. That should have been the halftime entertainment for everywhere. Extend that time to 45 minutes. Yeah.
Here comes out my 75-year-old mum.
Yeah, we've got
still on.
We've got Rebecca next. She's in a wheelchair, so we'll roll her up to the goal and Mighty will dive out the way.
Still quicker than Linwood.
Yeah, and more mobile than some. Yeah.
Hey, be glad, Bruce. Yeah, and you think we've done lots of work to make that less dangerous? Because could you imagine a wheelchair on top of that pontoon goalmouth
rolling down the hump out of control?
Yeah. It would look like last of the summer wine in a tin bath.
And just finally to complete my my pre-football ramble, I've done another game.
I've heard this because
my game last week was so successful, and I mean, you must have been inundated all week with people wanting to play it again. Well, we've got a new game. It's even got its own titles, but I'm not allowed to send you them till 10 to 9 because they're embargoed.
They're embargoed.
Wow.
Yeah, but how am I meant to get them up?
I'm going to send you them on WhatsApp, and you'll share your screen at 10 to 9 when I'm allowed.
So now I have to log into WhatsApp, and also at the same time, I use my phone as my webcam. So if it's not linked in, I'm going to have to go off camera to use my phone to scan the QR
How would you like me
code.
to send? But I don't want to send you it too early because I know what you're like. You'll get excited and you'll release it before 10 to 9.
What do you mean? I'm going to get excited and okay. Well, just send it when you. So I've got WhatsApp up.
All right.
So send.
But you're not allowed
it
to look at it till 10. You're not allowed to look at it till you play it for the first time.
Okay, but I've got to get it uploaded on the system.
Right, I'll do it. It's the best thing I've ever done in my life.
I love how the IT man. I love how the IT man doesn't understand the basics of IT.
GY1884 says, "Christ, not another game. Bruce's game."
Can you block people? Block him.
Yeah, I do.
He actually says Chris, not another game, Bruce. So whoever Chris is, he's communicating with him. But
Jesus is trying out a new name.
Yeah, Chris Christ will make you jump.
He did correct himself.
Okay.
Well, there we go. Thank you very much for telling us about it. Happy Mother's Day to all mums around the world. One of you is the best, and we will find out in a penalty shootout. I went to Heathrow and watched planes land. That was fun. We did this thing. My lad really likes planes, so we went and watched them. And there's like a little street next to Heathrow Airport, next to Hatton. I think it's Hatton Cross, and you can like sit there, and it's just chaos because it's a little country lane, and there's so many nerds parked up there, which apparently I am now one of. And they were taking photos of planes in land. Bruce, I would assume that would be something that you would adore for a day.
I'd rather live in Scunny.
They don't have any planes.
Well, to be fair though, we used to live under the flight path about a mile from the end of the runway at Bimbrook back in the day. And the lightnings used to be very loud when they came over. They would wake you up in the morning without the alarm clock.
So my dad has got a scar apparently on his forehead. I was on his shoulders watching them as a kid, and one of the lightning pilots put his afterburners on the runway, and they were so loud that I dug my nails into his forehead. And there's ever been an impression forevermore on there.
Did you like Daddy Potter?
Daddy Potter, yes.
He's got the zigzag scar on his head from your nails.
How bad do you think my nails are? Myrtle Avenue. That is absolutely right, Hallie. That's where we went. Yes. Richard, do your button up. Where do you think you are, man?
This is every Mother's Day needs a Mother's Night, and this is for all the mothers out there. So
this is like Hollyoaks nights.
That's right.
When the pod finishes, you're going to make a new mother.
Yeah, basically. Bruce is really up in the game. The loser has to strip on the. Oh, he's going proper. Oh, how very modern. Oh, that's just as all the kids wear. And Badly Drawn Boy. Not Badly Drawn Boy. Who am I thinking of? The Ordinary Boys. Is that it? Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Orphan Boy.
The average age of this podcast at the moment is probably, I would suggest, early 40s.
How dare you? I've not got there yet.
I don't think we need to be trying to pretend that we understand emojis or anything like that.
Hashtag sad face. Oh, that'd be.
I'm so bad with emojis that I try and do an emoji and it doesn't even like automatically change to the emojis. You know what I mean? Like when you're doing it, it just stays in the rubbish.
Do you think Bruce is so behind the times that he doesn't have a phone that can read emojis? So when you send him one, it's just that you used to get that box with a question mark in. They're just like box question mark, box question mark.
Comes in Latin.
Yeah. Who remembers an MSN Messenger? Let's talk about that.
Oh yes, I'm a big fan of MSN. ASL question mark. ICQ. Did you ever do ICQ?
No, what's ICQ?
ICQ was like the first version of MSN, so to speak. It was like sat on your side of your screen. It was the first one you could connect with your friends, like a chat room thing. It was great times. Now who's showing their age?
Let's move on from that before we talk about, accidentally doing stuff we shouldn't. But there we go. I have no idea what I meant by that, but nudge. All I can think of is nudging the screen to annoy your mates and trying to get attention of people who are online. Yeah. What's the little thing that used to knock on the screen? It used to go up, bang, 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 bang.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There we go. Bruce, can you remember this stuff? Or were you out at the parties?
I was, I think when I was a kid, mate, you had to go and knock on your friend's door, not the computer screen.
You were down the Aqua Disco by then.
I think I would have probably down the Carousel by then, probably.
I used to go to the Aqua Disco, and I quite like this girl, but it doesn't really help because I couldn't swim, and I'm not massively confident in the water. So all I would do is just wade around in the shallow end like a rock star.
What an absolute shambles! I bet that was an absolute.
Can I get some disco light armbands, please?
Right, so now
running out when the wave machine comes on. We're
now unearthing the real truth why you had to move so far away from home.
It's just for dignity more than anything.
Yeah. In case you won't see anybody down there.
Well, there you go. I hope everybody is MSN and webcams. Oh dear, says Hallie. I think we leave that there. Ruth says my MSN status took so much thought. Bruce had instant messaging when he was a kid. It wasn't as quick as Emma as they used carrier pigeon, says Mike, who isn't on the show and said he needs a time off from the show and has sent in more messages than anybody else so far. There we go. Where are Sam and Mike, the part-timers? Well, Aaron, Mike's here. He's just listening in and joining in quietly. Sam is apparently with Anti-Lunch. Is that right?
Yes, he did.
He didn't feed him enough on Friday that he's got to have another meal today on the weekend.
He just appears. I walked in and because I drive, I always end up arriving on my own, and then he just like, hello. It's like, oh hi Sam, you're right. And then he just stands there. It's like, you're right. How you doing? Everything good? Yeah, it's good. And then he tries to talk to you about politics, and it makes me cry.
He is like a bit. He kind of pops up like a meerkat and then just goes again, doesn't he?
And then just goes, yeah. He's like MSN. He'd pop up with his little status and then he'd appear offline. That was it. Mike says he sat here with a poorly 5-week-old. Well, we'll send you our love, Mike, and do what you want with it. ASL. There we are.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life around there. They're going crazy. Hey, they got penalty here. There'll be fish flying about there. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! A really, really good job. You can't make it straight like that.
Good evening, fellow playoff contenders. Welcome to the DN35 podcast. My voice is still not yet recovered. And if you'd like to see it slowly melt away, we've already released our At the Match Colchester pod, which you can only get from downloads because we're not filming ourselves, Christ. But I nearly got video footage of John singing DJ Otzi's Hey Baby at one point. But by the time I'd found my phone, he'd stopped and had realised what he was doing. But that's the only embarrassment today because the Mariners are the greatest team the world has ever seen. We are heading for Hull City quicker than when we find out the bridge toll is no longer £3.70. They are throwing themselves down into League One just to be near us. And you can already hear the heart palpitations of Humberside police as we speak. 3 people will be allowed in. The game will kick off at 2:00 in the morning, and you'll have to go on a treasure hunt to find the ticket. But there we go. I was there because I'm committed. Bruce was not because he isn't, and neither was Youngie. But that's not talk, and let's not dwell on my, my commitment to the cause. But you both watched it in different states. Youngie, what were your thoughts on that incredible victory on a battlefield?
Yeah, it was a battlefield, and anyone who says now about how bad our pitch is, yes, it is bad, but Jesus Christ, that pitch at Colchester was pretty horrific, wasn't it? But just brilliant again. I mean, I feel like I'm repeating myself constantly, but at the second half, especially, it wasn't just a good performance. It was a controlled, professional performance of a team that is in good form and a team that is one of the better teams in the league, and that's us. And it feels very strange to say that is us, but we are. Now the performances are averaging 6 or 7 out of 10 every week because everyone on that pitch that puts on a Town shirt right now is doing their jobs. They know their roles. They're attacking. They're brave, and we get results. And I have to say, second half, I thought we were absolutely tremendous, brilliant performance. Only you can argue about the fortunate nature of both goals. Really big Disarray vibes, wasn't there, for the Greens goal, wasn't it? The way it kind of seemed to kind of come behind him and trickle in, but we don't care. We'll take them all day long. And obviously their back pass led to what Barrington's run, but an excellent finish from Corey. Corey had a lot of work to do on that finish and absolutely struck it perfectly. But I don't know how much you kind of saw from the other end here, but the player that really stood out on the telly was George McCracken. He was absolutely superb in the middle of the park, absolutely ran the show all night long. And considering how bad the pitch was, we were still able to play football. And that's impressive in itself. So I can't say enough superlatives about this team. They are doing absolutely tremendously. And what a nice position to be in, that even if we lose on Tuesday night, doesn't affect us that much. Lovely old job.
It really does. And there was a moment where George McEachran did two wonderful things in about the space of a minute, where he volleyed the ball onto the toe on the laces of Svan Thorsen in the at 8:15, because I went back and checked. And there was somebody trying to poo-poo it, saying, that's standard stuff. But I'll tell you something, if it's standard, I've never seen any Town midfielder do that since the Championship days. Kept it low, kept it going, beautiful. And then 2 seconds later, when they looked like they were going to break away, his tackle was literally throwing himself in front of the guy and tackled with his body. And one thing that really impresses me this season is exactly how many times we turn the ball over and win it in a tackle. It's not something I've seen Town do for a long time. There's going to be we're going to run out of superlatives because I thought we were the better team. I thought it was an entertaining game. I thought Colchester gave good. Awara Edwards looks like this half the player he expects we could have expected to see. Really nice finish for his goal. He didn't do that for us. I think maybe Cheltenham by accident, but I thought they were a pretty typical Cowley side, maybe with a little bit more speed to them with Edwards there. But you could tell they were, because they got very excited every time they got a throw in. They were very keen to see what happened. But I thought we faced up to them. I thought McEachran was great. I thought Green had a great game. I thought Barrington was really good as well. I thought Harvey Rogers put himself about. I thought, Svan Thorsen, again, still the quickest feet on a Town player in 25 years, maybe 20 years, from what I've seen. He's just so quick, and that, he can ride, and because his feet are so quick, he can ride the tackle from the fullback trying to get him, and then he's away. And he had a couple of opportunities yesterday where he couldn't really do much else. They defended in numbers, but we took our chances. And the thing that's changed for me now is, instead of looking at Port Vale and Crewe or Wimbledon, I'm not going, oh, that's a tough game. I'm actually thinking, that's a great opportunity to get some points, and they can't, and we can skip over them, because with 7 games left, that's where we're going to be picking them up. Playoffs are not assured, but we've put our foot in the door, and hopefully, shame with Crew losing to Vale, it makes automatics a little bit more difficult. But the fact that we're talking about that with 7 games to go is getting me giddy. Yeah, that game on Friday changed my perspective, because I was very much thinking, well, whatever happens, it's been an incredible season. I think we've really genuinely got a shot of making the playoffs. And talk to yourself a year ago saying that and see what you'd think. Bruce, you watched it through the foggy eyes of a few shot glasses. What were your thoughts on the performance?
No, I actually took it quite easy. I only had 4 pints. It was. I mean, I'm not one for getting carried away, but I'm not sure we're ever going to lose again, are we? We just. I think you've both sort of captured it really well. I actually noticed Mike's normally the one that, but in his absence, that notices things like that. Have you know? Did you know? We sort of.
Sorry, Bruce. I just unmuted to cough and then muted again. I don't have a clue why that happened. I apologise. Go ahead.
That's all right, mate. That's all right. Yeah, we did this thing a few times where we would play the ball into the channels, and one of the 2 centre forwards would go to get it, and then we would have a runner that came inside of them, which is quite sort of something that you don't see. Normally, your runners go on the outside, but a couple of times Van Thorsten, would play it out wide, and then he would sort of run inside into the gap that had been left by the forward coming out. And we did it 2 or 3 times really effectively, and all of a sudden they found themselves in quite a lot of space in the middle of the pitch. So that was one observation that I did make. But we just look solid, don't we? And we're going to these teams. I mean, I went to Walsall a few weeks ago, and we won there, and we've just gone to Colchester, and we've won there, and they're on decent form and whatever. But I mean, I don't want to talk about them too much. But you said they gave us good. They gave a good. They were awful. I thought they were really bad to watch. And I just thought that everything was just lumpy long, but I don't think they realised that Matt Reed's retired. It was just typical Cowley, wasn't it? And then every time the camera panned to him, I think I said at the match, didn't I? He's just waving his arms around like a windmill. He's just if he needs to spend more time managing his team and not talking to the 4th official, really, because I just thought they were poor. And we've talked in the past, haven't we, about our town in the last few years. We tried to, when Hursty was trying to play the passing game, we didn't have a plan B. We couldn't do anything different. And the same things have been levelled a little bit at Artell when it doesn't work. But I just thought they just kept doing the same thing all game that wasn't really working. And it was typical, you say about when we, these games that you now see as opportunities. We went 1-1, and I couldn't help it. But the town in me's like, bloody hell, we've dominated this game, and we've given them a chance. I mean, I don't think he gets that shot away against either of the other 2 centre halves. Harvey Rodgers has had a really good season, but he knocked it a yard past him, and there was no way that Rodgers was ever going to close that yard down. And I mean, it's a tidy finish, but yeah, I mean, we created several other opportunities, and it's the midfielders that are getting into the box, isn't it? Danny Rose has got 13 goals or whatever, but there must be half of them nearly that are penalties. But the great Alan Buckley teams, it was after he'd gone that Mendonca got 20 in this season. They didn't have Tony Rees 13, Woodsy 12. It was, but the midfield would contribute. But for so long, we've not had midfielders that contribute with goals, and they're starting to look now like. You play Jordan Davis. He's good at free kicks. He'll get in. He scored a goal or 2 already for us. You've got, like I say, Corey and Green should score more, and I think they will score more. Green, I don't know if you listened to Green's interview. He said I should score more than I do, and who would have had him talking like that a year ago? So no, it's all very positive. I'm going to Crewe, who are in 9th in the league on Tuesday night. And I'm expecting us to win, and I mean it probably won't happen, and I shouldn't think like that. But I just think we look even better away from home than we look at home.
I mean, there's a lot to be said. We've probably talked about it to death about home form and how it can be better, and you know, is there an opportunity where nerves, or is it the style of play? To be part of the shit sandwich, though, if we can do that in managerial talk, how much was everyone else shitting it when Danny Rose went down and the physios ran on like they were like stallions? I was bricking it. That is our weakness, because David Riley says, I think our turning point was Gillingham home game when Artell realised we needed 2 forwards. I agree to a point, David, but we've only got 1 available at the moment. I think it's more, the next point is where we've gone to 3 at the back. And Mike, and if you're listening, there was someone who tweeted out saying exactly how well we've done since we've gone to 3 at the back. Can you search it out and see where it was? Because I think it's something like we've won 7 out of 11 or something stupid.
I do think he's got a point there, though, because I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He has. I think the 3-5-2, 5-3-2, whatever you want to call it. I think it's a sign of how much belief he's got in the 2 up front. We spent a lot of time earlier in the season, and I mean, don't get me wrong, we're no bloody tactical geniuses. We're just idiots that sit in the stand. But
speak for yourself.
You could see when we were playing that 3 up front that nobody was close enough to Danny Rose. You know, he was isolated all the time, and since he's done that, as you rightly point out, we've not had the forwards available. But we've been playing almost a square peg in a round hole just to keep the formation. You know, we've tried Jaden Luca and we've played Barrington up there, and he's done that rather than go with a formation where the players are available. So I think that shows how important he thinks having, you know, those 2 up front, and it's working, and it looks good. And like I say, I worry more about the next home game than I do about you know, the away game on Tuesday. And he's talked. I mean, I know he's trying to do his job and everything. You know, our home form's not as bad as people say. We're not as bad, but we're more entertaining to watch away from home. Whether that's because teams try to set up differently, but I don't think we create loads of chances at home. I mean, we went to Colchester on Friday. We must have created. We scored 2. We must have created another 3 or 4 decent opportunities. Maybe not final chances, but balls into the box that just didn't break, or that one the keeper parried, didn't he? That didn't fall to one of us; it fell to them, and that sort of thing. And I don't think we create that many chances at home. I do think we need to find a way. If we're going to get automatic, I think we need to find a way of being more aggressive at home. Whether that's different because of the formation, and when you're away, the teams feel like no matter who they are, they've got to come onto you a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what you both think, but the home form worries me more than the away form.
Yeah, I think it was interesting as well that, like, I think we've used the pitch as a bit of an excuse in recent home games to say, oh, that's probably why we're not playing so free flowing at home. But Friday night kind of proved that we don't have to worry about that, do we? That they had an even worse pitch and played football absolutely fine. I think what Alex said, or what you said, sorry, Bruce, about teams coming up and setting up against us is probably more of the issue. I think at home, let's be honest, Colchester needed to get a result, didn't they? And therefore came at us a little bit. I say they came at us, they hooved towards Edwards. They used Edwards as an outlet, didn't they? And a lot of their play came down that left-hand side. But I do think, yeah, teams don't tend to open up very well at Bundle Park. I mean, you saw, was it the Salford game? And they were time wasting after like 20 minutes. And so it is really hard. You've even seen it with the England games over the last couple of weeks. You know, they come, play England, shove 10 men behind the ball, and it just becomes a battle of wills more than anything else. But the home games that we've got left, we've only got three left, haven't we? Morecambe, Swindon, and Wimbledon. You know, Morecambe are fighting for their lives. Got a good result yesterday, didn't they? But it's a battle. Win. They needed a win, but Tranmere are looking like they're safe, aren't they? But it's going to take a big point difference now. Swindon have got nothing to play for now. Got beat yesterday, but it's Holloway, and that's going to make it a very different type of game. And we've got to make sure for that game we don't get suckered in to the hype with Holloway coming back. But at the same time, we need to make it a hostile. Yeah, we need to make it a hostile atmosphere. Absolutely, rub it in his face a little bit how well we're doing, and then who knows what that Wimbledon game is going to be like, because there could be so much riding on it.
And they've already sold.
On it.
They've already sold like 1,000 tickets as well. So they're keen and they're ready to. There'll be an atmosphere when they come down. They're going to need points, so they won't be sitting back unless the results have fallen that way. But I can't see it. I think
could be a third v fourth winner takes all.
Oh, not North 2005 all over again. Bruce, what are you doing to me? Can
you imagine? Can you imagine though? We've got to beat them to go up.
But could you imagine it'll be a redemption for 2005 after spending so much time in the automatic promotion spots? The last 30 seconds of the season. Hello.
Hey, I tell you what, we could. You talk about our lack of players in the forwards, in the forward positions. Gary Cohen's still playing. We could. I'm sure he's still quicker than some of the players we've got.
I'd get Mick Bolden in. I reckon Mick Bolden can still do a job.
Well, can you remember Liam Hearn? Liam Hearn when he came and did that Broadley game.
Yeah, he destroyed everybody else, didn't he?
He did, yeah. We only need one game, Liam. One game.
Just bring up David Riley's comment that he's just put into the chat.
Can the halftime entertainment
against Swindon be a darts match?
That'd be amazing. Shall we get? What we'll do is we'll get one of those, those enormous inflatable ones where you kick footballs at it. I think that's a great idea, David. Let's get it done.
I tell you what, Alex, we could tie that in with the Mother's Day thing, couldn't we? We could have mums throwing kids in Velcro suits at the dartboard.
So glad
wearing
you went
COVID masks.
Children, yeah, wearing COVID masks, melted phones on the side of their faces. 5G maps everywhere.
That random goalkeeper coach pulls up in a caravan at the side of the pitch. Yeah. Do you need me now, Ian?
Oh my God. It's it'll be interesting that the Swindon game, a bit like Crewe. I think Crewe have got are hung up on Artell, and I think it matters to them. And whether they break their hoodoo tomorrow on Tuesday or not, I'm not sure. But they're right in rank form at the moment. They are ripe for the picking, and it'll be nice to get into positive goal difference. Though it would be very, very funny to get promoted with minus goal difference. That would be entertaining. Apparently, Aaron's saying Paul Swindon have just given Holloway a 3-year contract. Relegation bound.
He's done it, hasn't he? He's lured them in. Did exactly what he did with us. False sense of security. Everything's going to be great. Oh, here's your 3-year contract, Ian. Thank you very much.
If Swindon were a film, this is when it cuts to black after he's signing it, and there's some bloke in China eating a bat, and then that's it. We're all going lockdown again. Poor Ian. It's happening again. But anyway, we don't need to get Jim Bowen, says Mark, for the halftime announcer. I think he's dead, Mark.
I'm sure we could AI him.
Do it. Yeah.
Hey, all right. So we're now having to spend money on a hologram Jim Bowen.
Here's what you could have won. But we don't want a speedboat because you could use one round here, couldn't you? What's the Grimsby alternative of a speedboat?
A trawler.
It's probably an annual pass for Warwick Castle or something.
A National Trust membership. I give that shit to them every time they try and sell me one, and I say, "Well, you see that big massive gap on the map? That's where I'm from, so I'm not buying fucking one from you lot. Go buy Normandy All or something, and then I'll give a shit." But maybe I shouldn't start taking my anger out on National Trust. Maybe I should see a therapist. Anyway, and then he said to me, poor woman on the checkout. So I was just really impressed with him yesterday. I didn't feel like I had skin in the game until Friday night. I was what will be. Whatever happens now, we've exceeded all our expectations. I'm still of the belief that because of how many of these players we've got on the books for next season, we are going to be a force to be reckoned with, hopefully next season, given what we've got and what the club are capable of adding. It's just a lovely place to be, and 35 minutes of positive chat is terrifying.
Alex, what I heard there was you're on the train.
Yeah. I'm Tom Hanks, doing the magical little cutting out on the tickets, and it says promotion, but I've spelt it wrong. I've spelt it wrong. I think it'll. Oh, Wembley, Bruce, are you ready to go back to Blundell Park South, or are we throwing our lot in with the automatic promotion lot?
No, we're going up. We sang. Where was it? Was it Walsall? And you probably sang it. Did you sing The Town Are Going Up on Friday night?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And EIEIEIO, they've learned to sing.
And there are generations. But in the pub on Friday night, they've got a modern, dancey, bouncy version of The Town Are Going Up. Did they sing that?
Well, there was one song that I don't know the words to, so if anyone can provide them, they are.
The Town Are Going Up, and then I don't know, was it the old Olay, Olay, Olay? I don't know. But
the Town Are Going Up, Olay, Olay. The Town Are Going Up.
Just sing The Town Are Going Up, The Town Are Going Up. But
why can't we reinvent it, Bruce? Why can't we remix?
Because everything doesn't have to be. Every chant doesn't have to be bouncy, 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 bouncy. It just doesn't.
And Mariners is.
No, it just doesn't. Anyway, it's a long. Thing is, we've probably got a generation and a half or 2 generations of Town fans that haven't sung The Town Are Going Up in the Football League, and to be honest, I don't recall us singing it in National League because more often than not, by the time we got to the business end of the season, we knew we were going to be in the playoffs. We topped the table that year when we beat Wrexham at Christmas, didn't we? And, we had a few times where we were top of the league, but I don't ever remember us, because there was only that one automatic promotion spot, we were very rarely chasing that into March and April. So it's just a completely different feel. And it's like being 21 again, when Town are decent and you're proud to follow your team for reasons other than just being, a Town fan.
And we've made the comment already about Artell and about Cowley and hoofing the ball, and it was a comment I made because when there was an opportunity at the time to bring somebody in, we missed out probably on Cowley by a couple of weeks. They got snapped up, didn't they, about a week before, and I was slightly disappointed at that. But my God, what a wonderful miss of an opportunity that is, because I would not want to be having to watch Cowley ball all the time. You could see the stark difference. Artell football is quick, it's fast, it's entertaining. The players are constantly pressing. It's certainly high energetic, and that's a slight worry as we get towards the business end of the season, as we've talked about before. But it's so much more entertaining. I really hope the people of Grimsby understand what they've got here and, get down for those 3 home games and absolutely fill it to the rafters and having to be holding it up. I want to see the main stand structure starting to slowly creak, not just because people are getting up to leave.
I think I think I've seen people say, I don't think it would be that hard to do a 3 for 2 on the final 3 games.
Yeah,
in the Osmond, Wimbledon will Wimbledon have the 1,200 behind the goal? They probably will. Well, they must have if they've sold 1,000.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to. You're not going to be able to sit people in the same seats for those 3 games, but there are spaces elsewhere in the ground now. I would do that, and I've also sort of. It's just a completely
green seats.
It's not related to the game, but are we not at the moment with the crowds that we've been getting? Are we not losing money with Release Your Seat because they have to give money off next season's season ticket? I think they give you 20 quid or something if you up to a £5 a game or something like that. Or up to, correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody will correct me, but we're not making the full money on the seats that we're selling. and there are other seats that are unsold, if that makes sense. They're where they would get the full money from those seats. I know it's only a small amount, but I did that sort of came to me the other week when we've not been selling out the home ends. I don't know
Are you saying
that's...
what we should do, Bruce, is have a cull? Basically, it's unreserved seating between now and the end of the season. So your season ticket still gets you in, but your
That'd be
seat is
good.
not your seat. Unreserved
That would
seating.
that would be
Chaos.
good. So yeah, if you want to, like you say, if you want to sing and shout and whatever, I mean, they've tried that thing, haven't they? We talked about it before. They've tried what you suggested a little bit about moving to the
They
Osmond.
didn't. It was poor. It was
But I don't think. But we shouldn't. People were saying if we get a result on Tuesday, there's no excuse.
We shouldn't have to. No,
there's no excuse for a clamour for tickets. The club shouldn't have to do anything other than what they're doing on the pitch for an atmosphere to be generated. I'm not having this shit that, the players need to give the fans something. That's a load of bollocks. Pre-match, the fans, a lot of the time are waiting for something to happen. They're not doing it before. They're not doing it before the game.
Fucking hell, Keely Donovan. I don't know how you fucking do it.
Sorry, I agree with you, Bruce. I do. That the result should just get people through the door. Of course, it should, but it doesn't excuse the club to not do anything. They should still, all part of building this movement and getting people involved. They've still got to do their part. So yes, you're absolutely right. The football itself deserves our support. It deserves the town support, but we've got to shout it out as well. We've got to get it. We've got to shout it from the rafters. We've got to make sure everyone's engaged and everyone believes, because this is what we've got to build now. It's a movement between now and the end of the season, a movement to build us in the right direction and get us up that table and out of this league. And yeah, if it starts from the marketing department, it's helped by us, the fans, but ultimately, of course, it comes down to the quality of the performances and the results.
You want ticket watch this week, don't you?
Well, what we were going to do is try and offer the club up and see if we can take over the Osmond stand for the Swindon game or something like that. They won't bring that many. We've got to sort of go to them. I was trying to work out what it would look like, but the opportunity to put everyone in the Osmond, will pay for some, flags and some, get your own flag, hang it up, get people who want to create a noise in there. And I'll see if the club are keen on it, but they might be doing something with discounted tickets.
It might be too short a notice as well for something. You think these things probably take quite a lot of planning, don't they?
Yeah, but yeah. So, but we'll offer our services and see what we can do, because we bitch and whine about it more than anyone. So we should really be the ones that help support it as well. But people should be getting down there and people should be enjoying it. And I've got to say, credit to Colchester. Colchester have changed it around. It's one of the worst grounds to go to. Dead. One of the lesser filled stadiums as well. It was bouncing. They had their away end. It's got decorated. It's changed since I last went there. They've got fan flags up and everything like that. They've made it their own. Then they had 7,000 there. I don't know. We helped, but from what they usually get, they're excited. Their fans are excited and they're buying into it. So let's hope the people of Grimsby are as well. And a win against Crewe will surely do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you were saying about the Cowleys earlier, not wanting to watch Cowley football, and I agree. I wouldn't want to really particularly watch that brand of football. But the one thing they do quite well, they did it at Lincoln, and they're doing it again, is they're very good at recognizing the local area and the community and getting everyone involved. I know at Lincoln, like a lot of they got into the city a lot, promoted a lot, went to schools, things like that. They are very good at that. So they're very good at the, I suppose, like the marketing sense and galvanizing that community. Lincoln, of course, the cut run helped them massively. But yeah, if we're going to credit the Cowleys with anything, I think they're very clever in that sense.
And then maybe we just have a 5-minute critique of clubs and stuff, and that's it. But do you think we're perhaps missing a spokesman at the moment? Andrew is a very different chairman to Jason. They're both wonderful, but they go about it at a different approach. Jason was, quite front facing, but you've got Polly there, you've got other members of the team there. Are we potentially missing somebody? You just want to get a local, you just want to get a former player, don't you? Get Grosey in, or get someone with get Martin Gritton or someone like that, really pumping it in the paper every day, saying, get down here, come down, getting in the I don't know. Do you bother going to the shopping centre anymore? Is anyone even in there and giving out some, silly things in Top Town? I'm not sure, but Jane was saying it was a good atmosphere at Colchester. It's usually one of the grounds with no atmosphere. They've done a really good thing to really promote it. So whatever we can take from them would be amazing. One thing we did notice though was that they have I put it up on our Twitter. They have a self-service kiosk for tickets. And I assume the amount of town fans that were going, yeah, I'm 11. And just then scanning their ticket to get in the turnstile. They're probably looking at us going, oh god, 600, nearly 600 away fans, we're going to make a killing. And they find they've made 30 quid because everybody's been put in carer for nothing.
I've said before, I would never do anything like that, Alex. Never.
No, I know. And you're a moral compass for everyone to follow them. And it was one of the reasons why we had so many banning orders, because we put you up as a moral authority on the club.
It used to be quite good when they put that they would serve you the tickets from a porter cabin. I've told the story at Swindon a few years ago, getting in for a student, and but there was a woman once at Norwich outside the away end. I can't remember. I must have been probably 30 at the time. It was probably 30, and it was. How old did you say you are, love? And she's looking at you through this mesh that's behind the porter cabin window. And you sort of,
as you're throwing bottles at it,
you're trying to move about a bit to sort of blur her vision. She can't see you. She's sort of peering through a specks behind the mesh. You're 17? Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Mrs. Patterson. Thank you for the job.
Dad will be here in a minute. All right then, love. Where were you at uni? Oh yeah.
University of Life.
I used to have an England fans travel card, like when you join the England supporters club, and that season that we got relegated, was it 03-04? No, it might have been later than that. It might have been sort of mid 2000s, and I used to flash it. I used to hold my finger over the England logo and just flash this card with a picture on that had got an expiry date. It's my student card. And it generally worked. It was generally pretty robust in its success rate. It was good.
And if
Officer.
you ever, yes, and if anybody does want a student card, Bruce can probably make you one up on one of his laptops, which he's also selling for a reasonable price. No refunds. Youngie, anything you've got to say on how we're doing? Everybody seems to love my ambassador thing. I'm sure the club would love nothing more than having to spend some more money on people. But I'm glad that Crofty, Danny North as options. I don't know. Disley would be brilliant. Just somebody.
Diz would be good for that. Diz would be better for that.
Yeah, just get them all in. Yeah. God, we should do that. If we do if we're able to do something with the main stand, just get loads of old players in there. Get your selfie with Danny North. Gary Croft can come off commentary for 5 minutes. Get Diz in there. We'll get him a free ticket and a bottle of beer.
The Radio Humberside contacts book's pretty good, isn't it? I always think, when Matt Dean says, "Oh, we're down in the west, we're in the Midlands. We've got Kev Jobling because I'm assuming he's gone back sort of Leicester way, or we're down so and so, and we've got so and so, or we're in London, so we've got Grits today." And I mean, they pulled Bradley out. Matt pulled Bradley Allen out on Friday. I mean, I didn't listen to. I've listened back to a little bit of the highlights when I was borrowing them earlier. But the address books, the contact. John Tonda must have handed on his little black book to Matt, and it's just got post-it notes and pages hanging out, and it must be a little treasure chest of town contacts.
They run out of them when it gets to me at the end. Fuck's sake, is that all we got?
You're next to Alex May, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. They keep trying to get him on. My favourite was what was I going to say? Oh, best wishes to Nicky Southall as well. I think he's had a hip operation because that's the age of we are now as fans, as former players are now getting hip hops. But I hope he's doing all right. There's quite a few pictures he's put from his hospital bed on Twitter, formerly known as X. And Aaron wants to congratulate Scunny on winning the Lincolnshire Cup on penalties against Cleethorpes Town. Well done to them. And you can vote on where their where their bus tour for the Lincolnshire Cup will go if you've paid your money to be an owner of the club.
Well, they're borrowing Newcastle's bus when they're finished with it.
No, we've got to keep that because it's black and white. We're going to save on paint.
Nice.
It's just a picture of Alexander Isak on the back. Do you know what? People were proper pearl clutching about that. Give them it. I mean, they've won something. I mean, granted, they keep forgetting that they won the championship though. But at the same time, why would you not enjoy it?
Oh, look, it's great. Yeah, absolutely. They're a one club city. You know, they're a very passionate fan base. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see scenes like that around Grimsby if we ever, if we win something. It's fair play to them. They deserve every moment of it. But it was nice. I was a bit gutted that Bournemouth got beat by City early because it would have been Bournemouth, Villa, Crystal Palace, and Forest in the semi-finals of the cup, which would have been great, like a proper old school throwback kind of semi-final.
And Bournemouth,
yeah, whose last trip to Wembley was probably the '98.
Do you know what? I was talking to my friend because, we joke about me going to Fulham every now and then. And my mate who gives me his ticket every now is a Fulham fan. He was going, because they were playing Palace, I'd love to. I've only been to Wembley with Fulham twice. And he goes, how many times have you been? I say, I think we went 3 times in a year at one point, mate. I'm really sorry, but we go all the time.
Twice in a week.
Yeah, exactly. Shall I tell you where you need to go? The Torch. Little quiet place.
It was weird. It was weird though because there was a point. I'm sure we'd had like 8. Since 1998 when we went to Wembley for the first time in something like the 25 years that followed or something, we'd had something like 8 trips to like Wembley or Cardiff, and it coincided with sort of 10 or 15 years of the worst sustained period in the club's history. It was mental we've had, for a club that's been in the doldrums for 20 years, we'd actually had some lower level sort of days out.
Well, and that's David Riley saying Scunny are 2 points clear in National League North. And that's the thing. When you find a level that is, let's be honest, beneath you, you can celebrate winning a league. But does it really matter? Because you've beaten a load of 8-year-olds and plasterers, So it's the same sort of thing. Like when we go to Halifax, we really that Wembley trip was so weird because I could not have given a shit to be there. I was just so glad we got out of the league. Can
you imagine if we'd lost the week before?
And then having to go to. I was like, I'm not going. Don't make me go.
1,000. Well, less than 1,000 people turned up to Wembley in the away end. I wouldn't have gone, I don't think. Not if we lost the playoff.
I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it for the memories. Bruce, did you go to the Halifax one?
Yeah, I'm a bit like you. It was a real funny. Maisie was only quite little. She was only 4 or 5.
Yeah, but the best thing is you made her go get the ticket, so you got 2 kid ones.
Yeah, that's it. But I didn't take her to the first one because the first one was special and it was important.
Yeah, it meant stuff.
And I wanted to go with the people that I'd been through the previous 10 or 12 years with.
I get that.
And that one was more of like a family day out than we went with some friends and sort of sat there, and the game was just a bit of a non-event. And it transpired afterwards, didn't it, that the town players had basically been on the piss for a week and
didn't show.
and a lot of the fans had not been to. But I did see I have put, when I share the anniversary every year, I did used to put and nobody really cared, and then I did have 2 or 3 people that sort of jumped all over that every year and said, well, I wanted to win, I was bothered, but I'm like you, mate. I really walked out of there. I thought, you know what, Halifax have had the day. We're going back to the Football League. What could possibly go wrong?
And it was like
the Charity Shield, wasn't it? It was like our version of the Charity Shield. It was just a bit of a day out. Were Halifax relegated that year as well?
Yeah, they did the Middlesbrough.
So Yeah, well done, lads. You got your real trophy. You're off to the Conference North now.
Oh, Youngie's still bitter about Halifax.
See you later.
I remember it was Tom Bruce. Tom, formerly of this parish, used to get really pissed off about not winning that, and that we took it for granted that it was an opportunity. And I get to a point, but promotion was so much more vital that who gives a shit? Almost like having an FA trophy on our record would have been kind of diminishing
I think that
reputation of the club.
I think that 2016 promotion was. Don't get me wrong, I didn't burst into tears or anything like that, but that was probably the most emotional I've felt at a town game. You know, I've had games like, you know, the Anfields and the Newcastles and the first Wembley was very special as well. But just after everything we'd been through and the 4 failures in the playoffs and John Paul Pittman's penalty the year before and being the better team against Bristol Rovers with their 40,000 fans, and we'd just been through so much together as a fan base that it was just, you know, hugging people and that feeling of that couple of minutes after Nathan Arnold's goal was just an amazing feeling that you just couldn't, you know, people were hugging each other. You knew it was done, and it was just a very special day, and that's why it's such a shame that the club of the time managed to fuck it all up within 4 years. All that hard work was undone, but you know that's all in the past now, and the whole thing's moving in a different direction. But yeah, it was a really special day, that.
And get ready to relive those feelings as we get promoted to League One in 6 weeks' time, something like that. It's not long.
Well, we've not been promoted automatically since 1991, have we?
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the reasons why I've never seen anything really victorious at Blundell Park apart from beating Spurs. And I can't remember West Ham.
Yeah, and look, I know it's pie in the sky, and we're talking about, you know, playoffs and automatics, but I think I've said on here before, there's something inside me that would love to see us do it at Blundell Park. Almost like all our greatest history over the last 30 years or so have been at Wembley, hasn't it? It's not been at home, and so I've got a vision of just a manic day at Blundell Park, getting promoted, going out in Cleethorpes afterwards, and the marketplace being absolutely rammed and celebrations galore. But that's my dream that will stay in my head. But
the marketplace will be a building site, Youngie, while they pedestrianise it. we won't be able to. We'll all be around the edges, around the cones, and there'll be people lobbing bollards about and stuff.
But I've always thought that, given how Blundell Park is, say for example we did a bus tour. So let's live in fantasy world that Scunny fans can clip this and put it out, and Lincoln fans can clip it, and Hull fans can. If we were to win promotion in whatever way it may be, I've always thought the best thing would be to do for the bus tour to go to Blundell Park, and then everybody be at Blundell Park rather than the town hall. I don't give a fuck about the town hall. The council have gone out of their way to make town's life more awkward than it could possibly be anyway. Like, avoid the politics of it. Have it done at Blundell Park. Everybody on the pitch, come out through the main stand or up through the upper Findus and lower Findus, and then lift up the trophy there. That's what you should be doing, not, you know, going down to the bloody town hall.
No, it's a good point, and I mean, like you say, it's always been the civic reception, hasn't it? But all the fans have that 10 or 15 minutes when the players arrive on the bus, and I mean that was pretty good last time. I took Maisie to that, and it was pretty good. But then they all clear off inside for the prawn sandwiches with loads of people that don't give a shit about them for the other 11 and a half months of the year.
Can I just have a word with you, Jason? We've found something else on the stadium that needs fixing. Just a cost.
It'll save us on the franking machine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fucking arseholes. There we go. Anything else, anybody? We've reminisced, we've thought process, we've heaped praise on our Colchester performance. We may get a bit too giddy and get carried away by the idea that we're God. Can we just have actually, before we move on to Bruce's amazing game, League One next season, what could that league be? What could that be?
It could be like Scunny's league, couldn't it?
It really could. I'm never going to see a fucking away game. My nearest away game is going to be about 3.5 hours away. League One. So these are the teams. So teams that are probably going to stay in there. Stockport, I'd say. Stockport, Huddersfield, Bolton, Blackpool, Barnsley, Lincoln, Mansfield, Peterborough, Rotherham. And then the ones that are going down are Colchester, Cambridge, Shrewsbury, Crawley, and Burton. Bristol Rovers stay up there. Wigan are up there. And then the teams going up could well be people like Bradford, Donny, and ourselves. And then getting relegated. Oh, they lost, didn't they? They're getting a bit wavery. Are we going to dare to be mauled by the Tigers? The campest football chant the world has ever seen.
Christine will be able to afford a new car, won't she, with the savings she makes on them miles that she puts in.
Yeah, but unfortunately, because she's parked in the director's spot, it's going to get trashed every week because of the riots out on Grimsby Road.
I'll tell you what, though, like you say, I mean, you're allowed to have a dream, but my word, that like you say, that we're going to have to give the away end in full again, aren't we?
Yeah.
Unless you're guaranteed that you're going to sell those 800 or however many seats are in that corner of the Osmond. Not 800, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know, but unless you're guaranteed to sell those seats every week, you'd be better off giving up the whole stand and letting somebody bring 2,000.
But do you think our wonderful safety advisory group would allow us to have that part of it? We go, nope, you need a full metal box between us and away fans again.
I'll tell you what, those 15 seats next to me would have Nick Dale's tarpaulin back on them, wouldn't they?
He would be trying to get in first game of the season, trying to take him out with screws. Why don't you just put these random bike stands at the front of the Osmond? That helps for some apparent reason.
Let them buy season tickets and then we'll ban them week one of the season. And there's no refund on your season ticket. We can resell those seats.
Yeah. Has anyone ever explained to me why we've got random bike stands at the front of the Osmond stand anymore and took out a fair few seats doing it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I thought they were stocks.
Stocks. If you can either have a ban in order or you can be placed in these for 2 league games.
You'll be force fed hamburgers from the old regime.
Oh God, could you imagine? Let's not get onto the food, Bruce. Jesus. We're already an hour out. We're over an hour. But also coming down from the championship could well be Derby and Hull. Oh.
You must have listed about 17. You must have listed about 17 or 18 of the 24 teams that are achievable away days there.
Yeah, well, for you they are. I'm gonna have to get a pass with Transpennine Express.
You'll have to start getting. You'll get Mike tickets for Fulham, won't you?
Yeah.
He don't go north of Watford.
My mum will be going, God, it's really nice that you come up and see me so often now I've moved to Cleethorpes. It's like, yeah, that's it, Mum. We're all using it as a safe house at the moment because unfortunately there's riot police near Isaacs Hill.
Blundell Park will be your seventh nearest away game.
Yeah, it will be. I'm here, an achievable one. I'll tell you something, 3.5 hours it took me to get to Colchester. It was ridiculous.
Mental.
I was forgetting that. So I was like, oh, if Crew's on Saturday, that's doable. Then I've only just noted it's Tuesday. I was wondering why the Crew guys. I did the preview with the Crew podcast, the Railway Men. Bruce, Steve from there, our friend Steve, gave them a critique of us, and he went, they go on for too long, which I thought was a bit rich, and all they do is talk too much and get pissed.
I think that's the best compliment you can give us. Thank you very much.
I feel maybe this should be my farewell gig if that's what they think of us. I'm not gonna top it.
Well, yeah. Was it a separate one when you was it a separate one when you took him to the toilet, or was it the same one when you fell in a hedge?
I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you what day it was that day that video that Mike knocked up of me knocking back the Madrid sat outside the cricket club on video call to you. Yeah, it was a good day. And then Hannah bought me this T-shirt of Homer disappearing in the hedge. The amount of fun that's given the pod team and most of the people who listened for a while.
For a while.
I wish I had that many pushes when I was younger.
Oi, lads, banter. Yeah, it's like Nuts and Zoo magazine in here. Yeah. Right, what do you want me to play with this video? Do you want me to just play it? It's 16 seconds long, it says.
Yeah. This is the best thing I've ever done. You're gonna love this.
Right, does it need a pre theme tune, or are you happy to go with
No, this is the theme tune.
Okay. Right, strap in, everybody.
How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? Right.
I don't think we're getting nominated for any more.
Oh God, I'm crying. How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? Oh Jesus, I'm in bits. Right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to How Old Are You?
ASL.
You've all listened to Talk Sport in an afternoon. The you all right, Youngie?
It's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Anyway, the birthday spread. Okay, are we familiar with Hawksby and Jacobs' work?
No.
Right. Okay.
Brilliant.
Right, can you mute yourself while you're laughing? Right. I'm going to tell you a town player and an incident that or manager and an incident that happened, and I want you to tell me how old they were when that incident happened or that event happened.
Okay.
You'll get scored on how far you are off, and the winner is the person at the end of the game with the lowest score. Okay. Right. How old are you? Alan Powton, when he signed for Grimsby, not bothered on loan or permanent, he was the same age. Youngie, you're first on my list. How old was Alan Powton in August 1999?
I am going to say he was 25 years old.
25. Alex?
I'm going 24.
24.
I'm doing that shitty thing.
He was actually 22. So you are 3 out, Youngie, and Alex, you are 2 out. Do you need me to recap the scores? Right.
No, I'm winning now.
How old was Nicky Law when he took over as manager of Town in March 2004? You remember that successful period in the club's history, Alex? You go.
He was.
How old was Nicky Law?
I'm quite surprised they haven't built a statue. 46.
46, says Alex. Youngie?
A little bit lower. I'm going to go 44.
44 for Youngie. Nicky Law was 42. He had a tough paper round. So Youngie, you were 2 out.
Town.
You were 2 out, moving you on to 5. Alex, you were 4 out, moving you on to 6. Do you like it so far? Are we all right?
Good. Yeah.
This is good, Bruce. Yeah.
Right. How old was Alan Buckley when he got sacked and left Grimsby for the final time as manager? Youngie, we're back to you. This is September 2008. How old was Alan Buckley?
I'm going to say he's 61.
61. Alex?
I'll go 62.
62. Alan Buckley was 57 when he was sacked as manager of Grimsby for the final time.
That's what.
So Youngie, you're 4 out again, moving you on to 9. This is going too well so far. Alex, you are 5 out, moving you on to 11. There's 3 more. When Adam Proudlock missed that penalty at Aldershot that I was unlucky enough to witness in September 2008. No, that's Buckley. 30th of January 2010. How old was Adam Proudlock? I think we're back to you, Alex, aren't we?
31.
31, says Alex. Youngie?
Yeah, I think he was definitely in the south side of his career, but I'm going to go 29.
29. Adam Proudlock was 28 when he missed the penalty.
Oh, yeah, 1 year
Youngie,
out.
That's one for you, one out for you, Youngie. Nearly bang on, so that puts you on to 10. Alex, you said 31 and he was 28. That's 3 out, putting you on to 14.
He certainly moved like a 31-year-old.
He did. It was another one with a tough paper round. Right, okay. Youngie, back to you. How old was Paul Hurst when he got us promoted in 2016 in the playoffs?
Oh, okay. I remember him doing something for his 50th birthday when he was back here. So I think he was around about 44.
44, says Youngie. Mr.
41.
Green? Sorry?
41.
41. He was 41. Alex, you've done your here we go. So you stay on 14. Youngie, you were 3 out, moving you on to 13.
All to play for.
All to play for. If there's only one in it, then you can't even stitch each other up, really. Right, 2 to go. Are we back to you, Youngie? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we're Alex, aren't we? No, we're Alex. Sorry. How old was Stephen Payne when he headbutted Philippe Moraes? Alex. In 10th of April 2021. How old was Stephen Payne when he headbutted Moraes?
I think he was stupidly old for some reason. I'm going to go with 36. I don't think it. As I'm saying it, it sounds.
Do you want to? I'm not going to take that as your final answer. What would you like to say?
Oh, because he's 21. No, I'll go with. Let's go with 34 then. Go on.
34. Youngie?
I'll go 31.
31. Stephen Payne was 29 when he headbutted Moraes.
Was he?
Fuck's sake, Stephen. Jesus Christ.
So Youngie, that's +2 for you, moving you on to 15. Alex has just completely screwed up his good work. Alex, you were 5 out, moving you on to 19 with 1 to play. You're in a bit of trouble here, I'm afraid. Right, Alex, I'll let you go first. This is the last one. I'll let you go first. But I think you need Youngie to have some sort of like a spell of amnesia or something to win this. How old was Gavin Holohan when he scored his 2 penalties in March 23 against Southampton, Alex?
32.
32. Youngie?
I'm going to go bang on 30.
You're going to go 30. Gavin Holohan was 31. You're both 1 out. Alex, that moves you on to 20. But tonight's winner on 16 is Richard Young.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done,
you very much, Bruce.
How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? How old are you?
And do you know what? I think it gets better than it's just quiet at the end.
Awkward silence at the end.
I love it. That's, if anything, that's the podcast encapsulated. Good idea. Poorly executed.
It's a good idea. That's a monthly. That is a monthly game to be added. You've got the calendar game. Got how old are you? I'll throw in a. I'll throw in a game in between. Sorted. We've got games for every week.
Yeah.
Did you actually think I thought the game was actually all right?
I thought it was very good, Bruce. I need to find you a nice little tune to go in the background so you can, ramp up the tension.
Just
Yeah, I just can't have...
Can I do a whispered version? How old are you?
Just fucking Bruce.
No.
Does that sound a bit sinister?
The child catcher. Bloody hell.
Oh God!
Bruce's child lines in the pier.
I can see the blue light. I can see the blue lights flashing down the street now already.
So
they're coming for me.
How old are you?
How old are you?
Come here. Get away from your parents. Come here. How old are you?
Right, you're taking it too far now.
I've ruined Bruce's sweet innocent game, haven't I? Yeah. Oh. Do you
You've ruined my evening on Tuesday now because I won't even be allowed to sit with Sam.
Pedo Dave, Pedo Bruce.
Right, if you see Bruce at Crew, just go to his ear and go.
Oh, if I hadn't bought a new
Record
flag,
yourself.
please, I want to see lots of videos of people running up to Bruce and just go, "How old are you?"
I'm going to have to go in disguise, aren't I?
Yeah, that'll help.
I'll
There's
I'll
Bruce
wear-
in a
hey.
trench coat in the corner.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll wear a
long
Mercedes
mask.
cap. I'll wear a Mercedes cap. Nobody will speak to me then.
Oh, he's trying to throw it on Sam. Oh, amazing. Oh, Bruce.
Is it home time yet?
I think it's out time forever. We're done.
Oh, thank you so much for joining the last ever podcast we ever did. It was a really good journey for all of us. And don't worry about Bruce. Don't worry. You know, he's had a good life, and he can't go to the cricket club anymore. But other than that, he's had a good life. Don't worry about it.
My only hope is that the prisons are full.
Yeah.
I might be deemed not too serious.
Oh my word!
Right, that game will be back, despite all the.
Bruce might not be, and neither may we.
It's been a pleasure.
It has been a pleasure.
Right, let's go. We need to ring some people, don't we, and see what we can sort out.
I need to find some lawyers. Right, see you all later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life running there. They're going crazy. Hey, they got penalty here. There'll be fish flying about there. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! A really, really